swing beside her flood, and I'll ne'er forget that day I met my Connemara rose. I knew the first day that I met her on the road to Curran. But she comes from Connemara, far west from Wallace, and her blue eyes glowing beauty and her red hair flowing down. She lives among the mountains where the wild heather grows, and her name is O'Hara. She's my Connemara rose. And tomorrow we will walk the island that is Rochestown, and there we'll make the vows for life, to live and work as one. And our children will grow to manhood where the wild heather grows. And I hope that they'll be proud like me of my Connemara rose. For she comes from Connemara, far west from Wallace, and her blue eyes glowing beauty and her red hair flowing down. She lives among the mountains where the wild heather grows, and her name is O'Hara. She's my Connemara rose. Hello, thou is
About a year ago we decided that myself and herself would retire to spend a few last days in comfort was our one and only desire, so we made the place over to Paddy, himself and his up-to-date wife. And in spite of all the complaining, sure they're having the time of their lives. You never see them at home in the night time. They disappear every night about 8. And it makes no difference what job's to be done. They would always say, it can wait. With their lounges and bingos and whist drives, sure there's often a terrible fight to know which dance they would go to after the pitches on a Saturday night. Her father he called to see us one day, himself and his city-bred wife. And she said, no girl could be happy and stay here for the rest of her life. Politely, she asked me where was the toilet, and then she got an awful red face. I said, out there in the field, the back of the house, you should find a nice sheltering place. Now you know, they have the whole blooming house pulled asunder. They're building bathrooms and toilets and showers, and at dinner time, instead of the big heap of spuds on the table, we now have a grand bunch of flowers. And they closed up the grand open fireplace, they installed a big lump of lead, and the long wooden safe where I used to lie down, she have that thrown out in the shed. And she have this big heap of records, and she plays them in some sort of a case, and the noise in that yoke from morning till night to give you a pain in your face. Sure, even the poor old sheepdog, the first time he helped it, the poor beast, sure he nearly went mad. He growled, he barked, and he snarled, and sure I thought it was the fits that he had. And then I got fixed and I told her and I said, this'll all have to stop. Oh, she said, you're just as bad as the dog. You know nothing at all about Pop. And after some time, this garçon arrived. Oh, be a jeepers, do you know what? They nearly went wild. But all the work the two had about it, you think no one else had a child. With their doses and drenches and packets, I'm beginning to think, how did we rail 12 of them on potatoes and goody and meat? And every 4 hours, you see, you have to be fed. And she had Paddy there on the dot. Because, you know, you'd laugh to see him when he changed the pampers, and he tried to persuade him to make use of the pot. And I think of the way that fellow was reared, I tell you, between you and me, I often seen him when he ate in the top of a tea chest, and he'd jump around in the pee-wee. And the other day she said something that I couldn't understand, and I suppose I never will. She said, Paddy, the taps after snapping again, because I never taught him he bill. The other night I asked the missus, what did she mean? She nearly cut me across and she said, well, it makes no difference to you now anymore. Shut up and get into the bed.
Golden corn has not been cut, and the meadows overgrown, and from the moors of Gertine Crind the pheasant cock has lately flown.
The soft red apples lie despoiled on my mother's orchard ground, and the setting sun, its short day done, cast shadows all around. The old folks tend the pastures now, for the young men have all gone to fight with grief, for their belief 'twas a bitter feud and long. My brother with his Thompson gun faced me across the moors, and against God's will I shot to kill, my sorrow will endure. At the crossroads where the dancing feet sent echoes down the lane are silent now, and many is the brow is creased with grief and pain. Oh, who will cross the wide divide and take my brother's hand? Or who was with him when he died by the Slaney's shifting sands? How can we heal this bitter rift that separates us now? For friend fought friend unto the end, 'twas a bitter fight. And how can hate and fear of yesteryear diminish in our minds? Oh, the Civil War was a cruel war to break the tie that binds. But the ash tree lives, and its seedlings give a hope to boy and man. And the GAA once more held sway in the fields where the hurlers ran. And the verdant spring a hope did bring, and the fields were tilled again. And the carefree sounds from the hurling ground sent echoes down the lane.
I was thinking of this one. It's a Kerry woman advising her daughter about how to pick a man. Darling Kate is the number. You're fair of face, dear Kate, and now nearing 21. I hesitate to spoil your dreams now that your young life has just begun. But your father, he is old agra, and I'm far from strong. A dowry from John Hogan's land, it helps us all along. Just think of it, dear darling Kate, you'd own a motor car. You'd wear fine linen next to your skin and travel near and far. Hogan's land stretched far and wide, from Rathea to Drumahead. He owns sheep and cows and fine fat sows and pyjamas for the bed. I know he's tall and skinny, Kate, and his looks are not the best. But beggars can't be choosers, love, when you're feathering your nest. He's been to college in the town. His shirts are always new. What does it matter if he's old? He's just the man for you. I know you love young Paddy Joe, him with the rakish eye. I see the way you glance at him whenever he goes by. I do admit he's handsome, Kate, but he doesn't own a car, and he likes to fight and drink all night above in Sheehan's bar. Did I ever tell you, Kate O'Graw, that I was pretty too? The summer days were longer then, and the skies were always blue. I was only gone 19, and your father 53. But he owned the land on which we stand, and he seemed just the man for me. There was a young chap lived next door I loved with all my might. 'Twas his face that haunted me when your father held me tight. I longed, dear Kate, down through the years for the soft touch of his hand. But young love is no substitute for 10 acres of fine land. You wear a long white dress, a red rose in your hair. I'll throw confetti, Kate, and sure the whole town will be there. You'll make your promise true to honour and obey. And I'll stand by your right hand and sell my love away. Ah, tears are not for daytime, Kate, but only for the night. So you'll have a daughter of your own and teach her wrong from right. Rear her strong and healthy, pray guidance from above. And some fine day, when she's 19, she might marry just for love.
My time in their fancy take flight to the home of my childhood away, to the day when its patriot began to bright, ere I dream that these joys should stay. When my heart was light as the wild wind blows down the marble tree, elm tree, where I sported and played, neath the green leafy shade, on the banks of my own love, where I sported and played, neath the green leafy shade, on the banks of my own lovely. And then in the springtime of laughter and song, will I ever forget the hour with the friends of my youth as we rambled along neath the green mountain bank and white flowers, and so when the evening sun sinking shadow golden light over the sea, and the midwinter lover no wild days is pressed on the banks of my own down, and the midwinter lover no wild days is pressed on the banks of my own lonely. Oh, what joy would be mine ere this life should decline, to seek shells on a sable shore, where the still feathery hills are splashing the brine, brings the longing for freedom once more. And all on earth that I wish for a prayer, not my last crimson rocky dirty, to my stand of ground on my forefathers' grave, on the banks of my own lovely
Hills not far, far away, I spy young damsels with colours so gay. She was sick in her heart, it was plain to be seen, and she sported the colours, white, orange and green. Then a brave English soldier by chance passed that way. He spied this young damsel with colours so gay. He rode alongside her, jumped from his machine, all determined to capture white, orange and green. You'll not get these colours, the young maiden said. You'll not get these colours until I am dead. I will fight in the glenside for all men to see, and I'd lay down my life for white, orange and green. And this brave British soldier turned white as snow. He got from beside her and started to go, saying, what is the use when a lass of 16 would lay down her life for white, orange and green. Early next morning in Beirney town, from the Galtimore mountains, this young maid came down. She was sick in her heart, it was plain to be seen, for that day did Thomas give his life for Sinn Féin.
As the sun was setting by the bright meadows of Shelmalier, a rebel hand set the heather blazing and brought the neighbours from far and near. Then Father Murphy from old Killurin spurred up the rocks with a warning cry. Our man, he cried, for I've come to lead you, for Ireland's freedom we'll fight or die. He led us on against the common soldiers, and the cowardly yeomen we put to flight. 'Twas at the Harrow, the boys of Wexford showed Bookie's regiment how men could fight. Look out for hirelings, King George of England, search every kingdom where fleet to slay. For the Father Murphy from the County Wexford sweeps o'er the land with the mighty wave. We took Mullen and then Scarthy, and Wexford Stormin drove out our foes. 'Twas Ashley Quilter, our pikes were reeking with the crimson blood of our beaten yeoes. At Beirney ring and Ballymitty, full many's the Hayestown lay in his door. A Father Murphy had aid come over, the green flag floated from shore to shore. At Meager Hill, for the pleasant slady, our heroes vainly stood back to back. And he yells at hello, took Father Murphy, and burned his body upon the rack. God grant you glory, brave Father Murphy, and open heaven to all your men. For the cause that called you may call tomorrow in another fight for the green again.
You're lovely and cold.
The old hometown looks the same as I fall into a drain. There to meet me is my mama with a bilhook. Down the road I look, there's my wife Mary. Face all mud and her legs all hairy. I just can't grow that green grass no more. And they'll all come to meet me, a handful of bills will greet me. I just can't grow that green grass no more. The old house is in a state, there's no fire in that grate, and the old oak tree is growing through my window. On the table there's a note from Mary, she's run off with a guy called Clary. I just can't grow that green grass no more. Oh, the hay this year will not be plenty, I couldn't afford the 10, 20. I just can't grow that green grass no more. Then I wake and I look around me, and I see 4 big freezing cows all around me. I sure wish that I was only dreaming. But there's a warble fly inspector, and a civic guard, and a red collector. I just can't grow that green grass no more.
And somebody else says it. You may sing your fine songs and stories tell of places and scenes that you all know well. But I'll tell you now of this hill I do know. It is called Carrigua, where the wild flowers grow. It is often I have walked it and looked all around at places where history is still to be found. I look towards the west and I see Ferns town, where the old church and abbey, their rooms are near down. I look in amazement at MacNaeidhe's domain, with his castle still standing, where his blood once did stain, where Oliver Cromwell his forces did band, for he murdered and plundered and ravaged our land. I can see Boolavogue and the Bolshevik
Shelmalier, where Father John Murphy with his life held dear. As I look down on the Harrow, where brave men did abide, it was there that Éamonn in 98 died. And now as I sit here on this hill for to rest, I can hear the small birds singing in the trees as they nest. Such peace and contentment is now to be found. May those men who achieved it in heaven be crowned.
For recreation, scanning your bio imchajukta, I spied a charming fair one, a hainer she shook a she was singing like an angel, smegeshtuk lena binago. I whispered soft and daisy, she's or she's gathered rather up. Son also warings, the wallies, the velton, the van the stucky mona, but rallum vegumilla. Son also warings, the wallies, the velton, the van the stucky mona, but rallum vegumilla. Her ramburn locks most neatly, go dreaming of a tittim lay, down her back and waist, scarf rab machreel at hanyam deep. I asked, was she the fair one on Bondy of the egg you put her, or the bright some vestal deity, Patricia shall in the Curran, son also worries, the velchinless, the band the stucky mona, the bralum vegumilla, son also warring, the wallies, the velchinless, the band the stucky mona, the bralum vegumilla. I asked her who her father was, she drag her, he's the minister. I knew I stood in danger, scorboiled on the vec fishing. If I had you in a neat grove, twixt Cleanoch and Muckaras. But your darling looks to tis me, Trigram a creed her tanya of this, and none also voides of all these the velchinless, and the stucky mona, bebralum vegumilla. So also warring the wall is the velchinless, so van the stucky mona, bebralum vegumilla. Her syllables most charming, bevalum vena kujukta, the vinalum non clorshuk, a horde for the Canopshi. You can have my stock and farm if you'll come with me to Muckaras. And then she sang most charming, Grogyal, I am fond of you. Son also voides of all is the velchinless, van the stucky mona, the bradum vegumilla. Son also voiding the all is the velchinless, van the stucky mona, the bradum vegumilla. Mother.
And we said that we try and compare the days of our youth when we did the same. So we sat there and watched them prepare. But there was no such thing as asking permission. That's not done anymore. But I remember my sisters at home, and they'd be asking for 3 weeks before. And after being told all the rules and regulations, I heard them again and again. And the last thing they were told before leaving the house I'll be showing me back here at 10. But sure, now it's near midnight before they begin to get ready. And then the rushing would start. And by the time they'd be finished and ready to go, they'd have every room in the house pulled apart. The other evening, young one came into the kitchen and she said, "Mammy, what will I do? My hair wasn't washed since last Tuesday, and the lads have used all the shampoo." She said, "I tell you the way that I used to wash it, but I suppose you're too grand for that anymore." I get a good lump of soap and a basin of water from the pump that was outside the door. But in my time, she said, we had reason to wash it. Things are far different now. What would you do if you're making by hand and your head twice a day against the ribs of a cow? And then one of the lads had one of these new electric razors and he stuck it into the wall. He had himself shaved in a minute and he used no water at all. And I think it's the first time that I shaved with a cutthroat, there was blood all over the place. After shaving the heads of the pimples that was dotted all over my face. I remember my father coming into the kitchen. It was the first time that I heard him using a note. He said, "What in God's name has come over you? Is there someone after cutting your throat?" Then they were talking about some great band that was coming to play. Dickie Rock or something like that was his name. They said he was known all over the world for his music, TV and radio fame. And when they told me how much he was charging, sure I nearly died with the fright, but they thought he was reasonable enough at £800 for the night. And I think of the dance halls long ago when we danced to the grand Irish tunes. Paddy Maguire on the cardine and Mickey McCabe on the spoons. And you know, for the jigs and the reels and the set tunes, no better men could be found. And God knows they wasn't hard on the money. They often played all night for £1. Later on I happened to be outside for a minute when this long-haired gurrier drove into the yard. You'd really swear it was on the Nace Road he was driving, either that or being chased by a guard. He was surely doing 70 coming up to the door, and he had the jam on the brakes to pull up, and his elbow stuck out in the window, a real sure sign of a pup. But in my time you wouldn't go to the yard. You wouldn't even dream of the light. You'd meet her about a half a mile away from the house and you'd take her off on the bar of the bike. And the other morning about daybreak I thought I had one of the cows calving in the little field at the back of the house. I got out of bed as quiet as I could and I crept down the stairs like a mouse. I opened the door and I looked out in the yard and I never got such a surprise when I saw the couple and they smooching away right in front of me eyes. And all I could see was the tops of their heads and the people at where I stood in the hall, as much as to say it was none of your business. I shouldn't be watching at all. You know, I never went out to look at the cow, though I'm thinking still that I should. I just turned on my heel and went back up to bed and I left her calf in the best way she could. And when I went up I was telling the missus all about it and says I, "Isn't this country gone to a terrible pitch?" "Oh," she said, "isn't it welcome to have such comfort? All we ever had was the ditch." But she said, "To hear you talking, you think you never did the likes in your life. When you forget about what's going on outside in the yard and get back into bed with your wife." Thank you.
My love has come home to this beautiful land. Walks through the door with his eyes like the sun, and his good bag all full of the treasures he's won. A forrard of broom and a tall orange, a bell and a clam and the jaws of the whale. My kitchen is full of the smell of the sea, and all the fine things that my love brings to me. Come gather your treasures by garden and way, and bring them along to our sweet little bay. With the sun in the morning ablaze on his chest, my love has come home from the north by northwest. And there in our bed we'll sleep and we'll lie, and we'll lie and we'll listen to the sound of the sea. Warm as the summer, we'll sleep winter long, My love has come home like King Solomon's son. Rock of the north with a dream in your hand. My love has come home to this beautiful land.
To English style, to Brooklyn, Thailand, well secureless. You do not know when day you go, what lies in store for you. Take my advice until twice, say you drive up like Alpine through. From Dunleary, I say, are into the month of June, and the boat it's back in Holyhead was in full view soon. The Camden town, sure I went down my work for to pursue. For to carry bricks and part of mix all my Alpine through. Some digs to find my corsted wind as nice ones drawing near. And as I read each notice said, no Hulsheath wanted dear. How did the note that to me oil lately bid you, and in Camden town of high renown I had joined MacAlpine's crew. Some time elapsed and then at last an old cockney took me in. Oh, the grub was bad, but I was glad I dare not make a ding. Such fare was tough, but good enough for lads like me or you, who sailed from home and crossed the foam, but a giant in hail and snow, so to work I go each day that God did send. For to make a pop and keep my job on this idea depends. Until at length it broke my strength, consumption bothered you. A lonely man lying in the sun, far from Alpine's crew. 1 year had passed and now I'm left to I am back home once more. Thank God I'm well, the truth to tell, much wiser than before. Oh, Camden town, on you I frown, no wonder as I do. But in God's own land I'll take my stand, and I'll come like Alpine.
I'm just a small farmer from Effin, in a townland called Ballymitty. It's a great rush to Mass on a Sunday, sure it's 8 miles there and back. What with the cows to be milked just at daybreak and a trip to the creamery in store, it's a matter of split-second timing. So I drop on one knee at the door. I've worn out a dozen young curates and of parish priests not a few. So they all did their best, but unavailing to get me up to the front pew. So my father, he knelt there before me. Aye, and his father before. So there, like a rock, I keep kneeling down on one knee at the door. Now, it's not that I'm lukewarm. In my own way, I'm kind of close to God. I do all my best to follow him along the road that his own son has trod. And when he's raised up at an elevation, sure my heart with love it does so, and I say, Master, I loves you, down on one knee at the door. Once when there was a mission, the preacher came racing outside, and all the shonings that knelt there beside me, they just melted away like the tide. But there like a rock I stood kneeling, as firm as a pile on the shore. And the preacher just says, I bless you, my son. So I stayed on one knee at the door. Now they've all got their fine motors, I've only got the old creamery's heart. But when Mass is a kind of almost nearly ended, I'm away to a real flying start. With the pony flat out at a gallop, I say a dozen aves or more. Ah, sure, I hope that will please the master for being down on one knee at the door. I love my wee farm in Effin, and I'm not one bit afraid to face death. Sure, I'll be getting ready every day to meet it. Sure, it'll be my first holiday on earth. And if I find heaven overcrowded, I'll do as I did here before. I'll say to St. Peter, this'll suit me fine, and I'll drop on one knee at the door.
Thinking about how you're going to do tomorrow.
In 96, when the moon is fading, she came so before. When the planet Mars and the twinkling stars, they know where we roam. Saxon birds and bit the earth where coming through the land, where the old men fled and the left their dead in Ballycullane. I was for a while beside the stile near the church of Hotel. One night in June, the silvery moon, Corridor and Graham didn't fail. Sailed the 98, which I now remain, and through my youthful brain, my friend dead, and so Rahim fled to Ballycullane. I passed Camool and the bar store, where them my poor find. Then I've been fine, no Mr. Wine, you overseas are dying. I Caden's dead, where I chanced to wed, my thoughts of me send. For the old man crew, you can't know in Ballycullane. My mother too, God rest her soul, she showed me where he fell. Across the land, where Doyle's house stands, he finds so brave and well. From beyond Kabul, where he chased the fall, and many a session was slain. But 6 Fenders present, till how young bred in Ballycullane. At Satan's lawn, at the morning dawn, when the barn was all aflame, I grieve to tell my 3 uncles fell, and there was Martin John in the game. And my auntie stood by the gate, herself and child were slain. My kids still cringe to have revenge for Ballycullane. This was a song my mother sang into my youthful youth. And down her cheeks for weeks and weeks old hot and scalding tears. My brother, my heart made a fight to take the hill again. In Ireland, I am here to bleed fire by me.
By the gas lantern ball, and we laugh through the smoke and the smell. Going home in the rain, riding up the dark lane, past the jail and down behind the fountain. Those were happy days in so many, many ways. In the town that I love so well. In the early morning, the sherbet factory horn called women from Britain, poor and bar. By the lane of the dog lay the mother's road, where the children and men walked along. But the times got rough, there was just about enough. But we saw it through without complaining. For deep inside was a burning pride for the town that I love so well. There was music there in the dairy air, like a language that we all understand. I remember the day when I earned my first pay, when I played in a small young land. There I spent my youth, and to tell you the truth, I was sad to leave it all behind me. For I learned about life, and I found me a way in the town that I love so well. But when I returned, oh how my eyes were burned to see how a town could be brought to steam by the armoured cars and the bombed out bars and the gas that hangs on every tree. Now the army's installed by that old gas yard wall, and the damned barbed wire gets tighter and tighter. With their planes and their guns, oh my God, what have they done to the town that I love so well? Now the music's gone, but they still carry on, for their spirit's been bruised, never broken. They will not forget, for their hearts are all set on tomorrow and peace once again. For what's done is done, and what's won is won, and what's lost is lost and gone forever. I can only pray for a bright brand new day in the town that I love
the small birds whistled and the sweet did sing, changing their notes from tree to tree, and the song they sang was old Ireland free. 'Twas early on a Tuesday night, the yeoman cavalry gave me a fright. To my misfortune and sad downfall, I was taken prisoner by Lord Cornwall. As I was marching up Wexford Street, my own first cousin I chanced to meet. My own first cousin did me betray, and for one bare guinea swore my life away. As I was standing on the scaffold high, my aged father was standing by. My aged father did me deny, and the name he gave me was the Croppy boy. 'Twas in Duncannon this young man died, and in Duncannon his body lies. All you good people that do pass by, say a prayer, shed a tear for the Croppy boy.
No laugh about the Curran, Carrigrua, no Better miss love the road, better miss love the road, better miss love the road, better me Carrigrua, no Better me Carrigrua, screw, better me Carrigrua, screw, better me Carrigrua, screw, better me Carrigrua, no Quarter me band the rose, quarter me band the crown, this quarter me band the crown, this quarter me Carrigrua, no
I do, and make her happy and to make love too. She said the only thing that I want from you is a little bit of the big bamboo. She wants a big bamboo. Ay, working for the Yankee dollar. I give my woman a sugar cane, now sweet love sweet, well I did explain. She gave it back to my surprise, she liked the flavour but not the size. She want a big bamboo. Ay, working for the Yankee dollar. I gave my woman a coconut, now she said it's very nice, but The only thing that bothers me, what good is the nut without the tree? She wants big bamboo, bamboo. Aye, 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 aye. Bucket for the $90. There was a Chinaman called Big Hung Low. Got married and he went to Mexico. His wife divorced him pretty quick. She liked the bamboo, but not the chopsticks. Big bamboo, bamboo. Aye, 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 aye. Talking for the Yankee dollars. Now ever since that the world began, many tried to please the woman. But the only thing that she wanna do is to get the man with the big bamboo.
I don't intend to marry nor to raise a family. Sure, I like the uncontented for to lead a single life. And that's why I'm a bachelor and I do not want to waste. Oh, with the red upon her fingers and the varnish on her toes. Her idle on her old face, oh, and whitewash on her nose. She can get the fancy barber for to shave her neck and her head. And that's why I'm a bachelor and I do not want to wed. Oh, last Tuesday at the morning in the town of Mullingar, a friend had introduced me to a famous village star. Sure, she's married 70 times before to men of every breed. And she thought she had no league in the bachelor from Westmeath, with the wrench upon her fingers and the varnish on her toes. Her rattle on her old face, oh, and whitewash on her nose. She can get the fancy barber to shave her neck and her head. And that's why I'm a bachelor and I don't intend to wed. Now I'm living with me brother and me little chatting dog. I'm earning 70 quid a week working on the bog. Sure, I don't live this life away from struggle and strife. And that's why I'm a bachelor and I do not want a wife. Oh, with the wrench upon her fingers and the varnish on her toes. Her rattle on her old face, oh, and whitewash on her nose. She can get the fancy barber to shave her neck and her head. And that's why I'm a bachelor and I don't intend to wed.
Born by the roadside, somewhere in County Kildare, destiny brought them together on the road near Killurin one day. In her fine faithful shawl she was singing, till she stole his young life away. And she sang, "Meet me tonight by the campfire, come with me over the hill. Let us be married tomorrow, please let me whisper I will. What if the neighbors are talking? Who cares if the friends stop and stare? We'll be proud to be married to Rosie, who was reared by the road of Kildare. Think of the parents who raised you, think of the family name. What if you marry a gypsy? Oh, what a terrible shame. Neighbors and friends, stop your pleading. Who'll worry about my affairs? I'd be proud to be married to Rosie, who was raised by the road of Killurin. She sang, "Meet me tonight by the campfire, come with me over the hill. Let us be married tomorrow, please let me whisper I will." What if the neighbors are talking? Who cares if your friends stop and stare? You'll be proud to be married to Rosie, whose red white rose in there. Johnny came down from his mansion just as the sun went down. Turning his back on his kinfolk, and likewise his own native town. Facing the roads of old Ireland, with a gypsy love so sincere. As he came to the light of the campfire, these are the words he did hear. Sang me tonight by the campfire, come with me over the hill. Let us be married tomorrow, please let me whisper I will. What if the neighbors are talking? Who cares if your friends stop and stare? You'll be proud